Good evening. My name is Katie Couric, and since my ratings were too low on CBS, I'm stuck doing biographies on the History Channel now. Welcome to tonight's special edition documentary on the life of Marie Curie. We are going to explore her amazing life and the contributions that she made to the world of science. Unfortunately, Mrs. Curie could not be here tonight due to the fact that she is currently 6 feet under the ground and will be turning 141 years old in a few short weeks in the beginning of November. And now, let's go back to 1867 to where it all began. I am here right now with her youngest daughter, Eve, who looks extremely good for her age, considering she's 104. Eve, thank you for being here tonight with me, considering it is bingo night at the nursing home.
It's bingo night? Count me down! Bingo! No! Security, we gotta get her back over here. She wants to go to bingo.
All of a sudden, I feel like I'm on Jerry Springer. Eve, I promise you, we will play bingo another night.
We better.
We will. So when was your mother born and where?
Why are we bringing this up now? I wrote a book.
Because we're doing a documentary on your mom.
But I wrote a book about it. Did you read my book?
Yes, Eve, I did read your book, but I want you to tell the people of America when your mom was born and why.
Read my book. My mom was born in 1867 on November 7th in Warsaw, Poland.
She was Polish.
Yes.
Okay. You know, how was her upbringing?
Well, both of her parents were teachers, so she was very much into school and learning.
Okay. So she was really smart. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, she was pretty intelligent.
So she was a really smart woman. Well, where did she go to school?
Well, first she went to school at Sojourn, Paris, where she attended most of her schooling, and then after she graduated from there, she went to the University of Paris, where she received her doctorate.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, that's really amazing, and so great that she educated herself so well, because back then, you know, not a whole lot of women went to college and got their doctorate degrees. But thank you, Eve, and we will come back to you in a few short moments. Now, let's talk to Sophie LeBlanc.
It's LeBlanc.
A local historian. So, Madame LeBlanc.
LeBlanc.
Tell me about Marie Curie's marriage.
They met when Marie was at Sorbonne University. She was working on her physics research project.
Yo, that's ironic.
When they met, she was captured by his clear gaze and his smile. He was 35 at the time. In 1895, Marie Sklodowska and Pierre Curie got married in Paris.
Aw, love at first sight. How cute.
Moving on.
So back onto the physics topic. What contributions has Marie Curie made to the physical sciences?
Marie discovered radium and came up with the name radioactivity, which led to the creation of the portable X-ray machine used in World War I.
No freaking way. I wish I was that smart. That is very incredible that she did that at such a young age and back when technology was limited. Thank you, Madame LeBlanc.
That's evil.
And now we're going back to visit Eve again. Well, hi Eve, it's great to have you back again, and I'm really glad to see that you didn't leave me for bingo.
Well, I called one of my friends on them cellular telephone things, and she told me that the cute bingo caller wasn't there, so it's okay.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good thing. You know, you can't ever play bingo without a cute caller.
I know.
So Eve, could you tell me another contribution your mother's made to the area of physics?
Read my book.
I did read your book, but, well, okay then. Next person.
Wait!
Yes, Eve.
I figured out one.
Okay.
First of all, as I said earlier,
So you have more than one.
yes.
Okay.
Like I said earlier, Mom went to the University of Paris and got her doctorate there. When she wrote her thesis for her doctorate, it was about how when you take a decagram of radium,
Radium, there you go.
it equals 225 at its atomic weight. which I think is very cool.
That is very cool.
So she wrote a thesis about it and handed it in to her professors and the board, and they gave her doctorate for it.
That's wonderful.
And in the same year as she got her doctorate, she also received the Nobel Peace Prize, along with my father, Pierre, and another man named Antoine Henry Becquerel. Mom and Dad didn't go pick up their Nobel Prize because they were in another country at the time.
Okay.
And they were feeling sick and tired, so they didn't attend. But the money that they got from the prize, and also from another prize they had won called the Daniel Ostrasis Prize, which they received soon after they got the Nobel Prize. They used the money to further research Mom's discoveries, and she was also one of the first women to ever get a Nobel Prize. Go, Mom!
Well, thank you so much, Eve. That was very informational. And thank you to Marie Curie, because when we get cancer from tanning too much in tanning beds, her discovery of radium may help us from dying too early. Does anybody else have a contribution to add to the life of Marie Curie?
Me, pick me over here. I got one.
Yes, ma'am. I'm here now with Madame Isabel Lascaux.
It's Lascaux.
Madame Lascaux, what would you like to add to the contributions list of Marie Curie?
Well, adding to what Madame Sophie had said earlier about the X-ray machines, ambulances during World War I were equipped with them, and the vehicles were known as Little Curies.
Well, that's rather interesting. You know, I'm an EMT and all, and every time I ride in an ambulance, which is pretty much every other day or so, I'm going to just have to think of Marie Curie.
Yes, and I have another interesting tidbit to add to what Eve had earlier mentioned about Marie Curie's research on cancer. In one of the 32 scientific papers she co-wrote with her husband, she announced that diseased tumor-forming cells were destroyed faster than healthy cells when exposed to radium.
Well, thank you, Madame Isabel. That's very interesting, you know. So, Madame Curie is just saving lives all over the world. So, let's get back to Madame
LeBlanc.
Now, Madame LeBlanc.
For the last time, it's Madame LeBlanc.
Sorry, Madame LeBlanc. In your research, have you found anything out of the ordinary about Marie Curie?
Out of the ordinary? Well, she was accused of having an affair with one of Pierre's students, fellow friend and physicist, Paul Langevin. Newspapers raised suspicion about Pierre's death. Her letters between her and Paul were stolen and published in the papers. Paul challenged a reporter, Gaston Terry, to a duel with loaded pistols. In the end, they were both afraid to shoot.
Wow, there was even drama in the early 1900s. I mean, I just hope nobody would challenge each other with loaded pistols today. That'd be kind of scary. But later in Marie Curie's life, she visited America and went to Washington, D.C. and met President Harding in the White House with her daughters, Irene and Eve. She watched as her daughter, Irene, followed in her footsteps and became a physicist and got married to one of Pierre's assistants. And they became a model couple just like Pierre and Marie were together. Eve took care of her mother until her death, which we are going to talk about with Madame Isabel right now. So, Madame Isabel, could you do me a favor and fill American people in on Marie Curie's death?
Well, shortly before her death, she wrote her final paper on radioactivity. And then Marie Curie died of leukemia at the age of 66 on July 4th in 1934. It is suspected that she got leukemia from being exposed to dangerously high levels of chemicals that she researched. It is rather ironic that she died of cancer because her discoveries are now helping cancer patients.
Wow, that is really ironic.
And after her death, Eve, her daughter, wrote a biography titled Madame Curie.
Yay, my book! Do you want my autograph? Sure!
Well, thank you, Marie Curie, for risking your life to save ours. Well, everyone,
Wait, I have a question. Why
apologize for all of us wearing sweatpants because since my demotion from CBS, we couldn't quite afford to buy all these fancy pantsuits and stuff and didn't have the studio anymore, so we're currently filming in a basement in Shippensburg, Pennsylvania.
And I'm old!
And we decided to wear sweatpants and, just be comfy and happy. So, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this presentation of the History Channel's Biography Special Edition on Marie Curie, and I hope you learned something. And on deck, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you had a little bit of laugh, because we had a lot of fun making it. So, have a great evening, folks.
It took away the fear, 'cause my life was sliding. I tried to ride the wave. It came down.
Also, I saw you go. Got it.
Alright, stop.
I love it! I'm proud! Wow, you dream of a statement.
Now let's talk to Sophie Blank.
It's LeBlanc!
Oh, I'm a historian. So, Madame Blank,
LeBlanc!
tell me about Marie's marriage.
They met when Marie was at the Sorbonne University, and she was working on her physics project. They met, she was captured by his clear gaze. He was 35 at the time. In 1895, Marie Sadowska and Pierre Curie got married.
Love at first sight. How cute. So, what is another contribution your mother made?
Read the book!
Okay then, next person.
Wait!
I got one. So we got,
Well, seeing her that she wrote an essay on... Go back her
answer from discovered medical history.
I got one!
The end, and they were both
Wow. So there was even drama in the early 1900s. Later in her life, she visited Washington, D.C. and the White House with her daughters Irene and Eve. She watched as her daughter Irene followed in her footsteps and became a physicist and married one of her partners and assistants in the lab. And she was taken care of by her daughter Eve until she passed away. So let's go back to Madame Isabel and